Back one and all to the Rematch Elite Series North American Open. We have reached the upper bracket final. We have been whittling away at the teams today. Only the best remain. And actually, a couple that aren't so good, or at least haven't had success so far yet today, down in the lower bracket, or the losers bracket, some might say. I don't know what you say, Wolfie, but our attention is up here with the winners to find out who is going to be playing in the grand final.
This is, in my opinion, one of my top two squads, and I think it's 1 and 2 right here. I think we're going to see a rematch of this in the grand finals, but we made it, Munts. We finally got here to the upper bracket final. Yeah,
not too long to go yet. It's been a long road and just a little bit longer until we find out who will be the champion of North America in this Open. But F5, a reverse sweep, a massive one in their last match, coming straight into a Voidbound team that have looked very confident to this point. They've looked consistent, they've looked dangerous, whereas F5 perhaps a little bit shaky coming in.
Well, you know, the one thing for Voidbound is, you know, they've also seen a best of 5. They saw it earlier on in the day on stream to really get ourselves going. And, you know, that one was one where they almost lost it there at the end, where Vita was making an amazing comeback. But, you know, how are they going to come against F5 Penguins? You know, when we saw the rematch count, this is where F5 Penguins came in here, I believe, with a 35% chance to win it all. Voidbound was at 5% here, Munts. So, you know, the underdogs to many, but they are showing that they should have not been counted out. This is a team I think has a lot to prove today.
Yeah, and something that I think is really important to them just being really difficult to beat in a full series is their defense. Look, we could talk about Ty scoring really important goals. We could talk about their ability to get space in the wings. But for me, their ability to deny goals has been so important. Vita FC in that epic comeback only managed to score more than one goal once in that series, and that was in Game 5, and they lost anyway. And then Azure, they couldn't find a single goal in the series as a whole, so they got swept out of Voidbound's arena. And now we are entering the arena for game number 1 here in the upper bracket final. The winner heads to the grand final, a best of 5 to secure your spot and an attempt to make history.
You know, I'm expecting this first game to be a bit slow-paced. I don't think these two teams are going to try to put out too much. More poke and prod, see what you can get away with, and see if you can get anything in for free. But, you know, this is where these two offenses trying to unite early. But can the sphere of this team for F5 playing to take down the shield of Voidbound?
Rapid pass there. Pings past the recipient. Now, Voidbound, they have a shot down the other end. It's shut down by Pauly, the goalkeeper, coming out, running out, shutting the angle down. Stahly has a chance. He's got space, but the defender was bearing down, but no opportunity to tackle means the shot comes in. And the save likewise, and straight up the other end. Time and space, a far post cover. The shot looked like, I'm not sure if it was meant to be direct. It was a little bit in between the shot and the pass, not quite the angle for the rebound off the backboard, but I think that was what he was going for in the end. But in the end, not a whole lot to show for it. And we look to restart. F5 with the ball, trying to play it out from the back.
Well, we've talked a lot about Ty and what he kind of brings to this offense. And, you know, we talk about the clutch factor for him. He's going to be a person that we have to look for when things get tough. The beautiful pass gets cut out there. The defense for Voidbound doing what it knows how to do best, and that's ward away good offenses. But a quick break, a one-on-one with the keeper. Quick dive there. We'll take it away.
Cennix have been so dangerous from that position all day long. But denied the extra touch there that would have given him the space. We've seen that infield cut from him, and then a finish into the near post bottom corner, but no chance to shoot there. And Voidbound are going to bring this out. Cennix again with the ball, but he's given it away. Stahly with a chance, one player to beat, but the player behind gets the slide tackle. That ball will fall to DirtyTauro.
You know, I've had a chance to talk to the boys here from Voidbound, and, you know, during the interview that I had with them, they felt very confident. They feel this team can really get and go the distance for one that really plays well together. This is an event that they felt that they could be the best after what they look like in scrims. And, you know, I think if you ask anyone, if you ask them, they knew they would be in this position, but it's where you're saying job's not done. You find yourself here in game 1 of the upper bracket final, but these two teams trying to find their way for a bigger piece of that $1,000 grand prize.
A chance here for Ty, who's been venomous from these spots. A shot direct and might seem simplistic, but he's been rewarded for those speculative efforts more often than not, it seems. And we've seen a lot of Voidbound today. This is the third time they've been on the stream, and Ty has been a massive part of their success because, oh my goodness, while we talked about the defense, which has just capitulated here, you do have to score goals to win games, and that's exactly what the Penguins have done here.
Well, and this is where F5 Penguins, they needed to come in and start hot. No need to be on that iceberg the entire time. And now for Voidbound, you see yourself looking down the barrel of a goal. Your offense is going to have to step up. We said it, F5 Penguins, one thing they know how to do, that's score the ball.
Voidbound have been tough to take out of games and out of series all day long, but put on the back foot immediately here in game one, and Tauro will get that pass off to the wing. And Cennix has found some space. He's carved out an opportunity. Ty, it is blocked. And Cennix back on the ball, but Stahly should safely get this away, but instead, Cennix has pipped him to it. He's cut inside. He does have a player waiting on the penalty box, but two defenders make it so hard. Make that three defenders able to shut him down. It took the whole team. It took the tribe, but in the end, F5 do manage to find the defensive stop, and they look to restart from the back left.
Doesn't matter how you do it. If it gets ugly, just know that you're willing to get dirty in for them. That's where F5 Penguins, they fought hard, and you know, this sort of Voidbound's trying to see if they can get themselves a quick counter. Have a lot of room here. Two-man up. We've seen this tandem work all day, but Ty leaving that one alone may have not liked the opportunity and elected to retry the offense.
I think Ty thought he was going to get hold of that ball and was looked to pull back for a little bit of space, but it didn't quite lock in. He didn't quite get the animation he wanted. Instead, it just blew by him. He's got another chance here to start something. Norman's helping out, and he's driving into space. It's a pass to Ty, who looks for an extra little bit off the backboard. The angle was tight, and Paulie had every inch covered.
Oh, PaullyWallnuts, it's just been a tough nut to crack throughout the entire day. And you know, for a F5 Penguin team, this is where you're trying to give him just a bit more of insurance. Get him 2 goals. See what he can do, because he's just been doing a masterclass there. But, you know, DirtyTauro has also been one of the key players here for this squad. Both keepers having a tough day, but this is where these two offenses need to start getting going.
A little bit too cute there. On the Penguins striker, the chip not finding any power, and that's going to not need power at all. It's going to dribble, it's going to bounce, but it will find its way into the back of the net. And Ty's been scoring these strange goals all day long. I'm not sure what it is. The replay can't figure it out either, but he somehow just manages to bundle the ball over the line in some weird and wondrous way every single series. And he's gotten so many goals from these strange positions, and with less than a minute left, it was so important to score there, and he's done exactly that. Another really clutch goal from Ty, but it's the defense that need to show up, and they do.
Well, and this is now where you're saying, hey, we got one, we need 2, and a good touch, can't get the last one. Great there by PaullyWallnuts. Felt that was gonna go behind the net, but staying firm.
Kylar, space in front of him, the blade shot. The go-to move there, but it's well and truly shut down. Cennix very wide, draws the defender. Ty will look to get this back, but the ball too direct. I think it was a little bit premature with the pass to Cennix in the first place. Needed to draw the defender a little bit more, but perhaps wanted it back quickly. But this could be the final play of the game. If it goes in, it doesn't. Stahly will get the ball back, and he'll look to turn. They're down on lppy. It's unimpeded at the top of the box, but it's saved away. And a big clear through to Cennix, who's through on net. Ty with the far post run. He gets ahead to it, and the top post, or the top corner, is calling, and that's exactly where Ty puts the ball.
Well, he's a player that has just clutched up day in and day out, and during main event, that's another one for him. That right there, gonna go and end it. Are they bound for the finals? Well, after game number 1, they get themselves one step closer there, but the MVP going to the keeper.
Yeah, I don't think that's harsh either to someone like Ty, who scored those 2 goals, but I do think, while I've been quick to sort of say, okay, we talk a lot about Ty, but let's look at the defense. I don't know if the defense was Voidbound's strongest strength in this particular matchup. I think Ty is just so good at finding goals from seemingly anywhere on the pitch, and he really won that game with that finishing. Look, there's a lot to build up. He was found with good passes as well, but at the end of the day, you need to put that ball in the back of the net, and whether it's far post or these weird near post bundled goals through the goalkeeper, he just finds a way. And that's the second time today that I can recall where he's forced an OT and then secured the win immediately.
Well, the one thing I think it's so important about his game that I feel we haven't touched on a bit is how good he is without the ball on his feet. He knows how to be able to find open space, get off of his man, and just be able to just get a sliver to make some big portions happen. But the way these two players have been communicating up front, I think we're seeing a tandem we might see for a very long time.
Good header there to get that clear, but I won't be able to catch up to it. Should be and is. Routine pass back to Pauly. Kylar gets it back and has time to spare. Look to drive. Stahly waiting. Ippy with a bit of a fake challenge, and Norman does get in the way and allows Tauro to collect the ball and release Ty for another opportunity. And it's finished on the far post. Cennix, the one to capitalize this time. Ty, the provider.
Well, sometimes you also have to give it if you take it, and this is where Cennix said, thank you so much. I'm going to be able to capitalize. That's going to go on for another big goal coming out here. Voidbound coming in with the second man who's been seeing a lot of assists, but gets himself a goal.
Now Voidbound on a bit of a roll offensively. Yeah. 3 quick goals over the end of the last game and the start of this one. And 3 goals unanswered as well. Ty looking to make it 4, but it's well covered by Pauly, who's decided to take matters into his own hands, or onto his own feet, I suppose. Someone will be back covering for him. We'll see if he looks to take Norman on. He does, but Norman well aware of the danger. And now they might have an opportunity here. A second string keeper tested, but Kylar up to the task, level with the challenge, and he'll look to take the ball out himself.
And, you know, looking at this series, the way it's been, I just feel a little bad here for F5 Penguins. Their stamina may be low after going to the wire against Snows FC and having only a couple of minutes of a break. So, you know, for themselves, hopefully they're not just running on fumes here. But, you know, Voidbound, fresh, did have a quick sit after their sweep, but they did not look like they needed to warm up. They looked ready.
Penguins are really worrying me. They're opting to throw numbers forward, but then they're just leaving Ty or Cennix alone at the back to pick up a free ball, and it's a pressure-relieving ball as well, because they're so free. You just have to lay it up to them. They can make the com. I'm free in the top right corner. Just hit it to me, and I'm open. And the defenders don't even have to look for it, right? They just know that they're there and they're open. They know the space is there, and they can just lump it up to them. But Kylar's looking for a little bit of payback. No one picking him up. He's got the ball. Stahly looking to give him space, but he's going to opt to go himself, and it might have taken a lesser goalkeeper by surprise, but Tauro level to it. And again, Cennix wide open at the back. He's shut down quickly with a bit of a heavy touch in the defense's favor, but I mean, it's worrying to me for Penguins. You can't be risking this much this early and not expect to lose another goal.
I agree, and you know, on that last attack, I felt Kylar could have gone Stahly there and been able to get the ball right back. I really feel right now for NA and just in Rematch in general, the trust that your teammate is going to hit you right back after you just go off the little 1-2 is the most crucial. I feel there's a lot of space that they can be taken advantage of, but they're so nearsighted for that goal. They need to look to maybe get an extra pass to try to keep the keeper's eyes away.
Chance here for Stahly. Looks to combine, and oh, that shot looked like it was dangerous. I couldn't actually spot if Tauro got the touch or if it was wide. I blinked at the wrong time. At the end of the day, it's not a goal. Voidbound retain their lead. Ty continues to threaten. A good bit of footwork takes him past one, but the angle not quite there.
Well, and this is where you're just starting to sleeve them, just slowly but surely. But you know, time's running out here. F5 Penguins cannot go down 2 games. You saw yourself be the first team to ever get a reverse sweep, and they said, Wolfie, calm down. Nomdoms able to eat that one up and put it behind the net.
Yeah, that was fantastic there. Nomdoms just looking to shut them down. Ippy trying to get in the way as well. It wasn't to be. And that equalizer going in. Voidbound getting rocked there.
And this is where you just have to be careful now for Voidbound. I still feel the momentum on your side. F5 Penguins is the one having to prove themselves that they can come and play at your level. But you know, with the two best offensive players in Cennix and Ty on the side of Voidbound, they have to still feel they're in this. But this is where this offense looking to really make a big statement here. But some good defensive pressure will be able to take it away.
The ball now from the back. Cennix with the run, but can't quite get any space from nomdoms. Oh, they're just going to look to lump it onto the penalty spot and hope for a prio. Wasn't the case. Kyle looked to shut down Paulie. He's not done this so much. He's got a couple little clips on the keeper's clear. The worry is that that does leave someone alone downfield, and they have managed to find the extra man. Nomdoms was the one to get the ball, but he couldn't find the pass. And now Cennix will look to shoot himself surely here. He does, but he can't find a way around Paulie.
Well, in that last attack, they had Kylar sitting mid with nobody marking him. It just seemed they tried to go for the cross, but, you know, allow yourself to go ABC. Stop trying to skip that, and they might see some open space. That one just off the side will just get picked up by the keeper, but 40 seconds remaining. We're all equaled up. Will we see OT? Ty with the shot on, won't be able to get it. This one still find themselves all knotted up.
Kylar a chance to put things to bed here, but we'll need a teammate to help out. Nomdoms back to the goal. Or a little bit of a wayward pass there. A lot of a wayward pass there, but Kylar manages to clean things up. Paulie will release quickly. Good touch from Stahly infield. He's going to turn onto Norman, who does rush him quickly. He's been so big, so staunch on defense, has Norman. So difficult to get around cleanly. He's managed to stop the attack that was brewing. See if he can stop this one. He is beaten momentarily, but gets back, recovers quickly, and looks to launch a teammate himself. He's surely out of stamina. The ball into Ty, a little bit short, and Kylar cuts it away.
On a good chance here, but you know, OT, this is where F5 Penguins have to show they can get it done against Voidbound. Voidbound's been able to do it in this position all day long, but can the Penguins find a way to swim through? But this is where I'm looking for them to take each possession carefully. We know how well that tandem for Voidbound can get. Is that one just nodded off without any real action there?
Cennix has got space. He's got the pop. Shot blocked. Again, defense been the name of the game, but I don't even know if it's good defense at this point. If you're having to make last gasp challenges to shut down shots, you want to be stopping that ball before it gets to the edge of the box. Norman's been good at it. The F5 backline not so proficient. But look, they've let in the same amount of goals, so who am I to criticize either one of these teams? Right now, got an opening on the right side. Norman decides not to rush just yet. He's looking to get the fake challenges. He's looking to make the player bite. Bite he does, but it was a good find. And Stahly, a shot to the lower left, or the lower right, defended and saved away. The chip pass, the lower corner, lower side, right side of that net. Beautifully picked out by, once again, the clutch scorer himself, Ty, to win game 2.
Oh, Ty coming in saying, I'm back in your city tonight, walking around my head high. The TY in his name stand for thank you, because that's all his teams are saying to him from his offensive prowess. But Voidbound, once they get the ball on their feet, it just seems that anything and everything can happen for them.
Again, it feels like the Penguins are just giving them so much space to clear the ball into and have a free attack, basically. There's something to be said about a press, but if you're leaving someone open every time and it's so easy to find them on that pressure release valve of a clear, you're just going to be conceding chance after chance. And it felt like Ty and Cennix did so well at finding that space off of their defensive clearances and threatening, causing players to have to scramble back. And while I talked about how the defense was the name of the game, it really felt like it was that scramble defense that was making the difference for the Penguins. But in the end, it wasn't enough. So I want to see some change from them. I want to see them be a little less aggressive with the ball and maybe look to lock it down a bit more on the defense. And I think they'll be able to find... No way. This has gone in, I think, off the back of the keeper. Again, Ty with just a miraculous, weird goal.
Well, let's give this a look here, and looking at the replay, no one in net saw Pauly walk all the way back, and just seemed to have just been in a blender. That's unfortunate there. Voidbound now just taking big strides towards a guaranteed portion, at least $200 there in the grand finals. And think about that, first place $600, second place $200, and Voidbound trying to get there for just say, hey, at least we have $200 in our back pocket for a guarantee.
That was shenanigans. Hopefully Pauly can recover from that, because I mean there's no other way to put it. It was pretty embarrassing watching that one go over his head. At first I thought it had come off the crossbar and hit him in the back, or bounced off him to go in, but it was just straight on target. A wonderful opportunity taken by Ty, who again has just managed to find goals from seemingly nowhere. And he's going to look to get on the end of a ball here, maybe from Cennix, but no, he'll be shut down. And we'll look to head the other way.
Well, and this is right now where we'll see how Voidbound decides to play this last couple 5 minutes. And with so much game up, this is a team we've been talking a lot about their defense earlier in the series. I know this series it's been all offensive for themselves, but one more goal, you could potentially just say we're playing keep away, trying to find open space and not letting the side of F5 Penguins have any chance at the goal.
Cennix has been dangerous from these positions, but he can't quite find the ball to Ty, who'd crept a little too close to the goalkeeper. Oh, a rainbow flick. Good old-fashioned from Pauly, who's up from his own goal line, looking for the assist, maybe looking for a goal of his own, and he just is denied, just a pixel short of the line. His opposition keeper coming out on top in that exchange.
Wow, that's one where you're saying you just didn't hit it hard enough. And for a player who's used to being in the net, saw himself with a prime position to kind of go back the other way. That's one where he's saying almost, but for not. But that would have been one of the best clips tonight.
I'm just thinking Pauly's got to be encouraged by that. He might be making a few more runs like that before today is done. We'll have to see. But he looked pretty decent there. Almost had an assist and almost got on the end of something himself. But right now, Stahly looking to weave some magic. Can't get anyone onto that ball at the far post, and they'll look to retreat, look to play the possession game. And I don't hate this from them. Playing things a little more considered. Yes, they are down by 1 on match point. But they do have time, and they've got space here, and they can almost find the option. But nomdoms on the far post just needed to make a little bit of a run more to feet there and see if he could get that ball earlier in front of the defense.
Well, don't forget, the first team to ever get a reverse sweep in tournament history are the F5 Penguins. They did it last round. Let's see if they can go and double dip it. But, if this team gets that narrative and gets that reverse sweep, this is going to be the most clutch team to ever step onto the pitch. But that narrative still to be to come. Cortex looking for a teammate, will not be able to find him. Good job there by Kylar, able to ward that one away.
I thought for sure that was over the top of Kylar's head, but managed to get his hair to it. Chip here, a little pop. Nomdoms, though, couldn't get on the end of his own setup. So Kylar alone here. He's going to look for a keeper, a pass to it, but Ty is looking to shut it down, and he might get on the end of this, but all a little too close to goal. Out of stamina is Ty, so he'll just lay that off. Look to play this one around the dump there, but no swing, and it's just direct. The keeper's gone the wrong way. I don't think this took a deflection. I think he's just gone early. Would you believe Cennix has found one?
Well, we've been talking a lot about his counterpart in Ty and how well of an offensive threat he is, but look at that. Bicycle kick, gets it the entire way. Voidbound now, looking like they're bound for a grand finals run through the upper bracket. What a day coming in. We talked about it. 5%. What were their odds? But they said it was 5 too many. We know how to get ourselves to that position. And every team that I interviewed says we're going to be the best in the world. We want to be able to be the top of the ranks. And Voidbound, with that confidence, they're stepping up and not just saying it, they're proving it.
Yeah, they've come out and they're looking to put together a bit of a wonder run. I don't think anyone looked at this team, at least outside of probably other players, I think, who are getting to scrim them and play against them regularly. But no one on the outside looked at this team and went, they're the ones that are going to, knock these giants down. And oh no, a little bit of a deflection. I suspected one down the other end and it wasn't, but this is very clearly a defender getting a touch onto this ball as the keeper dived away. And this is just the harsh reality of defending in Rematch and defending in general, as you make what feels like a good block, that old RNG just hits a little different.
Well, I think for the Penguins right now, this is where you're saying, hey, we got one. We've been struggling to get this in any way possible. If it was off the defender, if it was off our own foot, we got one on the scoreboard. So, I don't talk about consolation prizes too much, but at the very least, you're not going to have a goose egg there. But this is where a team can absolutely tie this up and try to see themselves go to at least an OT.
Time here, nomdoms. Line up his options, not so much on, but the defense does compartmentalize, and in the end, quite compact, and there's plenty of room on the wings, but it doesn't matter. Down the other end, Cennix and Ty looking to link up again, but Cennix doesn't need no help. Ty scored a whole bunch, but Cennix looking to catch up, make his mark on this series.
Hey, that's the ego we're talking about. I love it. Striker. And that one sees itself with an all too crucial goal. Back to 2, back to leading. Is it too many goals with 54 seconds remaining?
Still time here for the Penguins. See if they can make good on it. This is awkward for the keeper to read, but in the end, falls to the wayside. Cennix is going to look for a pass here, tied to the backboard, but Kylar, I was going to say aware of the danger, but he did well in the initial capture of that ball, but just let himself almost be dispossessed. Little heart-in-mouth moment, but right now F5 need to score, and they don't.
Well, and this is where they're, we're looking where they're potentially going to be at, and that's in that lower bracket finals. And we've seen a lot of great teams kind of go into that point. As one more goal for the road here. That's going to give Cennix, I believe, his hat trick here.
Cennix and Ty have just been so dangerous. Both of them, while they've been willing to get on the end of each other's passes, they've also been willing to enable the other with just getting space, making runs, and forcing the defense to be, at best, one-on-one, but at worst, completely absent to the play. And Cennix especially has been so good at taking advantage of that absence or of those one-on-ones. Ty has been finishing everything, but Cennix has been absolutely wonderful with the ball at his feet, and we will see a mercy rule just to get this one shut down, and we will see Voidbound in the grand final. They've swept their way there in this winners final, in this upper bracket final. And they will be the team to beat if you want to become North American champions.
The first team to ever punch their ticket into it, and securing themselves at a minimum $200. But this team worked extremely hard here today. The fact they've only lost 2 games, and that was to Vita, who unfortunately did go out here in the lower bracket round number 1 to finesse 3-1. But that's kind of just showing you how hard this team has been able to get through this. And it's been a struggle, it's been a fight, but they grinded it and they deserve it.
Absolutely. I think they've been wonderful to watch. We've talked about their defense, and we've talked about Ty and Cennix as well, especially in that last game, both just sort of sharing the load, so to speak. And it's just wonderful to watch when a team is feeling this good all over the park. Norman's been wonderful at the back as well. He's been so difficult to beat. His fake challenges have been forcing sort of snapshots or premature passes that are being dispossessed quickly, and they're switching it up to they're switching it, and they're finding transitions so fast. It's so difficult to defend, and it's so difficult to attack, and I just don't know if there's a team that we've seen in this tournament that can beat this side. Voidbound are looking good to be the champions, but we still do have a whole bunch of lower bracket games left.
Yeah, we do right now. The first team to punch their ticket into that lower bracket semifinals currently Azure FC off a sweep against Shadow FC 3-0. But right now, Snows SC currently against Finesse 2-0 in that one. The winner will go on to play the boys in purple in Azure FC. Who will get there? We'll find out. Make sure to smash that heart button to keep up to date with all the rematch action. We'll be right back with some more Rematch Main Event Championship Sunday.